Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Hello.
Daf Weeks.
Hello.
And Zach Hamilton.
Hi.
How are you doing, fellas?
All good.
Full up,
Good,
baby.
Full up, baby. Yeah. I don't know if you can see. I followed Dav's lead last week and had a haircut. It was about
Handsome
time.
boy.
No, seriously, it was I was in the hairdressers for about an hour. It was a long time. There was a lot of hair. There was a lot of
They
hair
get the
that had
sheep
to be cut
shears
away.
out.
You know, he did say, do you want me to use this? I was like, oh, yeah, okay, just cut it all off. I think that's the last time I'll ever have long hair, which is a really sad moment for me. Because I don't think Rosie will ever allow me to be as ridiculous as I've been for the last 6 weeks in particular, but there we are. But how about you guys? Been up to anything good? Anyone?
Just the haircuts, man.
Yeah, look at all you guys. You guys are making me look so bad. I haven't been there.
If you haven't seen how ridiculous Zach looks, then please follow us on YouTube.
But luckily, Zach is the best looking one of us all. So as soon as he gets his
pull it
haircut, we'll all go to shame.
But yeah, fantastic. So just to give you a heads up, if you haven't listened to the podcast before, we are supported by some wonderful people over on Patreon, our patrons. I just want to say thank you to our patrons. We love you very much. If you would like to support us, you can give us £1, £5, £10, or anything you like. We're not picky, we're not choosy. We just love the support. And if you can't, then just watch or listen, and we really appreciate it. As well as Patreon, you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch as well. Dav does some streaming over on Twitch. You can find us on FaceCB as well. You can find us we're pretty much on all the social medias, aren't we? I don't think there's anything we're missing out on. We're not on Instagram.
We don't have Instagram.
I don't think there's anything we can
Can
really
I-
show
can
on
I
Instagram. Zach, you can be our official
TikTok.
Can I start on Instagram
Yeah.
and just post complete not? Ooh, we've got
Special guest.
special guest.
it's my dad. My dad's in the show now, I guess.
But yeah, that's our podcast. Should we talk about some news? There's been a lot of news
100% yes. Right now.
Yeah, there's been
Give
a lot
me news
of
in my
give
face.
me all of the news.
again.
So we are going to talk about something pretty serious to start off with. It's about Ubisoft.
I thought you were going to say
Ubisoft.
sexual.
I mean,
I was like very inappropriate. For what we're
yeah,
about to
very
talk
very
about.
inappropriate for what we're going to talk about. So basically, there's been Ubisoft are. Let's just say they've had a pretty rough time in the media, which is, and I would say it's probably fair because some of the things that have been going on at Ubisoft have been pretty awful, to be honest. Particularly to do with misogyny and the way that a lot of women are dealt, I guess talked to and spoken to, and the way that they're dealt with at Ubisoft. I've got a quote here from Jason Schreier, who said that several senior Ubisoft members encouraged a misogynistic culture that kept out women from both creative roles and as leads within the games themselves. There's been loads of details of sexism and harassment at Ubisoft, which is just awful. And again, like I said, it's not just within the company itself. It actually bleeds into the games. Cassandra was supposed to be a lead character in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and just Cassandra. But Serge Hascoe, one of the creative officers at Ubisoft, or formerly, because he's since resigned, claimed that women don't sell, and that he basically would... He'd basically say that women shouldn't have any positions of power in the company or on the video games themselves. And what makes this even worse is he would do these meetings at strip clubs. It's absolutely ridiculous when you
If that
think
doesn't
about
summarize exactly the mindset that's going on,
exactly
what kind of self-respecting person?
And I think there's obviously a conversation to be had, because I think there's been a big thing on Twitch recently about a lot of women, rightfully, and we should always support people who do come forward and saying, people get sexual harassment on Twitch, and Twitch have had to start doing stuff about it. Same with YouTube as well. And we need to support women in games. It's a really important thing. We shouldn't allow this to happen. But the fact that it's happening at one of the biggest companies, it's the only thing we can hope for. The only good thing we can hope for from this is that change happens. And like I said, Serge Hascoe has actually resigned. It kind of is ridiculous for him to say women don't sell when I've got two statistics here for you. Horizon Zero Dawn is the best-selling new IP for PlayStation 4. Okay, 100 million consoles sold. The best-selling new IP is Horizon Zero Dawn, has a female protagonist. The Last of Us Part 2 is the fastest-selling first-party PS4 exclusive ever. So again, the two of the biggest games on that console have female protagonists. And yeah, I actually looked at some stats as well recently, because a lot of people have been saying, what's the percentage of people who play games? I think it's 55% of gamers are men and 45% of gamers are women. Yeah, there are genre differences, but it just, I don't know, it just seems ridiculous.
It just spoils it, doesn't it? Because we're not just talking about the excluding. Is that the right word? Excluding.
Yeah.
Excluding people, like 50% of the world from enjoying this awesome medium. Like, imagine if 50% of the world just didn't watch films. You'd be like, that's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
But then it also spoils it for everyone, because I was just saying, I'm going to repeat myself to what I was saying to you, Johnny. I know that you play games with your fiance.
Yeah.
Because
I mention it pretty much every week, to be fair.
Well, exactly, because you want to do fun things with your fiance, of course. And if she was influenced, which I think lots of young women, all women, will feel that they're being discouraged from playing games.
Yep.
It might mean that lots of people won't get to have those great shared experiences. I mean, we've talked about our experiences of co-op games, but also just the shared experience of playing the same game. Daf Weeks, I know that that Hoy was playing The Last of Us 2 at the same time as you. Like, that's a cool shared experience that just wouldn't exist if people were if people are discouraged, which, as I say, I think probably lots of people are. I know that I have lots of female friends who feel excluded from our world. I mean, look, we're four guys talking about video games every week.
Yep.
That doesn't go unnoticed, and it just seems really sad because like I say, it's a whole medium of work. It's not just like one company. It's not just Ubisoft. Obviously, Ubisoft is at the forefront of this problem we're seeing. And I'm really glad that it's being talked about. But it means that it bleeds into the rest of the
And as well, it's not just Ubisoft. It's probably not just Ubisoft. There's probably other companies who are doing the exact same thing.
What's the name of this guy? Serge
Haskell. I believe it's called Serge. I believe he's called Serge Haskell. Yeah.
So he was. What was he? He was the CEO or
Chief Creative Officer.
Yeah, Chief Creative Officer.
He made the decisions as to yes to this game, no to this game.
So he's like all the way at the top, right? Yep. And that bleeds down into young people who are trying to make stuff. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sorry, I lost it a little bit. I got a little frustrated.
No, man. Do you know what? I mean, the sentiment is. I mean, it has to be that. It has to be. That's the sentiment has to be, because we have to be actively against this. It's not okay for us to just be like, oh no, I mean, it's good that it's been solved and that's it. And you're like, no, well, that can't happen. We have to stop it, or at least say something about it, because it's just ridiculous. But like I said, hopefully change is going to come. I'd like to assume so now, considering that he has resigned. And I mean, Ubisoft's name has been, I would say, dragged to the mud this week. I mean, good. I'm glad. Keep dragging it until they change, because it's the only way it's going to change.
Yeah, I think a couple of the good things about this is that you've got someone like Yves Guillemot, like right at the top, who does seem like a force for good. And he's going to be in charge of making these changes now. One of the people in charge of making these changes now. And a lot of Ubisoft games, do care passionately about inclusion, and you can tell the independent studios, not independent studios, but the studios in and of themselves care. Like Assassin's Creed. So Evie was supposed to be at least 50-50 share of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but Jacob ended up taking the spotlight. Which is a shame, because I think Evie's a much better character.
Yeah,
definitely. And then with Assassin's Creed Origins, Bayek was supposed to die, and his wife, you were then supposed to play as his wife Aya. And I'm just started playing through Assassin's Creed Origins, and Bayek's cool, but there's not much to him, and it's a really cool game, and I'd love to play through it. It's like someone with maybe a bit more personality.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, and as you said with Odyssey, it's supposed to be Cassandra was the main character, but then they were like, no, one or the other, or even if that wasn't the case, somehow Cassandra is still a more interesting character than Alexios, apparently.
Yeah.
And then with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they all the marketing to a certain point was the male character.
Yeah, it was.
The first time we saw the female character was in a collector's edition where they had a model of her as like a collectible toy that came with the bundle.
Yeah,
and it's like that's your reveal for like the other version of this character. So you can tell like the development studios want to do stuff and want to move forward, but hopefully now they'll be able to.
Well, that is, I mean, that's a really good point, actually. And one thing I should say as well is that the I don't know whoever put together Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they only wanted Cassandra to be the main character, and then again, Sergio Hascoe was the one who said no. He actually said you have to put this in. So like, and you're right. What more can they do, really? You know, when they go, you know, if this is the guy that says this game goes out, this game doesn't go out, and he's telling you this has to be in there, it's like. It's mad. It's crazy as well because then it's this idea then that people don't actually play as female characters in games. Whereas like I remember specifically Mass Effect, people would play as more
Femship.
people. Yeah, Femship. It was a big thing. Like it was a big thing on the internet where most people would play the game as the female protagonist. It's like, well, I don't know. It just seems crazy. And yeah, hopefully now this is going to be something that's going to be good like going forward. And because. I don't know. There's a really famous picture. I remember seeing this picture, and it must have been about 5 years ago, of all the protagonists from like games from the last like 15 years, and they all look the same. They all look like
white macho dudes.
They all look like Nathan Drake. They all look like Joel from Last of Us. You know, they all look like Nathan Drake, Joel. They all look the same. So it's good that we have more interesting and developed characters. But yeah. I just thought we'd mention that briefly, so I appreciate you guys talking about that. Let's move on to... So, last week, I said that we were going to talk about some rumors from the Nintendo Direct. We got a Nintendo Direct, baby. Kind of.
Kind of.
So, the internet, I'd say Twitter has been a very interesting place to be a Nintendo fan of last week. I personally didn't care. As soon as I saw that it said Nintendo Direct Partners, I was like, oh, it's going to be tiny. And then I read it was like supposed to be 10 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, don't get your expectations up. I loved the fact that Shin Megami Tensei 5 and 3 were announced. I saw that and I was like, even if it was just those two things, I was like, I'm happy. You know, I'm happy that they were there. But how did you guys feel? Did you all of you watch it?
If you are angry about what they didn't show at this Nintendo Direct Mini, 1, you weren't paying attention.
Yep.
And 2, get a grip. They made it explicitly clear, like it was going to be just third parties, probably mostly Switch exclusives.
Yep.
And then you see the length of it, and it's 8 minutes long.
Yep.
So like, what about that made you think, oh, can't wait for F-Zero to be shown? It's like, no. Now, if you want to be upset about the way forward thing, they worded that awfully.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, like everything's relative. Like the stuff that's going on at Ubisoft and almost every massive publishing house.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, which is still an ongoing struggle. All these other things, like maybe the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase isn't the best use of your energy.
Yeah.
Honest to God, man, it's crazy to think that people. I mean, yeah, I get people want new games, and I get that people want, especially new first-party titles, and we're all anxious to know, especially with the Mario stuff. We all want to see it, but like, it's in the grand scheme of things. There's thousands of other games you can go and play. It doesn't have to be on the Switch, and if it is, I can't imagine everyone's played every single first-party and third-party game on the Switch. Even if it's just held to the big titles, there's still first-party games I haven't played.
The other thing is, if you have played all of those games, maybe you have too much money and you should go and find more problems. Yeah. I gotta be honest, I'm never gonna run out of games because I'm just always gonna be like, oh well, I got some money, I can go play that game that came out 15 years ago.
Like it's I don't know. It's kind of funny, but then when I saw the vitriol that like people at Nintendo were getting after it, it's kind of like it's also not funny because. It's kind of funny seeing people lose their minds over something which is essentially toys. Let's be honest. We love video games. It's a video game podcast. It's toys, okay? In the same way that you wouldn't see people losing their freaking minds over like a film being announced. Is it? What's the new film with Christopher Nolan? Is it Tenet?
Yeah.
That's been like pushed back again indefinitely, isn't it? Like it's been pushed back how many times? Can you imagine if that was a video? Yeah. Can you imagine if that was a video game? Like that's happened
Yeah,
with like Last of Us
seriously.
2. Last of Us 2 got pushed back by like 2 months, and people leaked the game because of it. It's like, oh my god.
You say that, but when it turned out that there was one of the lead characters in the new Star Wars trilogy was going to be black, people hit the fucking roof.
Yeah,
Basically,
they're just
can't-
arseholes, though, aren't they? Like,
You can't be this vitriolic and then bang on about Karens.
yeah.
You are
Yeah.
a Karen.
Yeah.
And snowflakes and all this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just mad, isn't it? It's just mad. But yeah, I like I said, I'm actually really excited to play Shin Megami Tensei. The 5 looks great. I've never played any of those games, but I've since researched them. I've known about them, but I've never played them. They look fun. Oh, they maybe not fun, but like, what I mean, it looks interesting. You know, it doesn't look fun. It looks terrifying.
I've got 1,001 other RPGs I need to complete by that time. So luckily it's next year. But it looks. I definitely am very interested, and I'm hoping there's no connection with Shin Megami Tensei 4. You know, so like
I
if
don't.
I play 3
That's the
and
problem.
then
I don't
5,
know.
I think it's like Persona where they're because they're the same team.
Oh,
I think
it's
they're
okay.
Different stories altogether.
Like Final Fantasy, in that like every story is like unless it's like 10-2 specifically. Right. Okay, I'm with you.
or Lightning Returns.
Lightning Return. Oh man, I think we've spoken before about Final Fantasy 13.
Have we? It's ugly. It's an ugly game.
Yeah,
I hated that game.
Me too.
It's
That's
so-
that's another candidate for a rank the Jam.
But the thing is, I wouldn't want you to play that. That's the problem. Like with Bioshock, at least there's
Genuinely.
good elements of it. But with like Final Fantasy 13, it's like
I actually
really?
think you should. I think you should stream it, Dav, because I think it would be really funny to watch you walk down a corridor for upward of 50 hours or whatever that game. I don't even know how long that game is. I got about 3 hours in before I had to stop.
Yeah. I think
Aw.
you did better than me.
It's
God.
it's a shame as well because I remember it stylistically looking quite good. Stylistically, like it
beautiful.
looks great, but yeah. Right, we're gonna move on because we still got loads and loads of stuff to talk about. No Games Pass for the Switch. There was Game Pass. I always say Games Pass. I don't know why.
You're an idiot.
I'm an idiot. I'm adding that extra S. It's unnecessary. Anyway, Phil Spencer. There was
Lovely bit of
there was
business
a recent interview with Phil Spencer where because I think there's been a lot of speculation that Xbox and Nintendo have had a really good relationship recently, and there's been a lot of speculation saying that Game Pass is going to come to the Switch. He said no, basically, and not because it wouldn't work, but basically because the quote is. The reason behind this is that these companies aren't really that interested in having a full Xbox experience that Microsoft wants to deliver with its Game Pass service. I kind of feel like it's fair enough. It would be amazing if it was on the Nintendo Switch. But the only thing I really, really, really want from Game Pass is the Rare Replay collection. And I feel that's purely because it has Nintendo games on it. Or Nintendo
Is that not on
original.
Game Pass yet? It's not, is it?
It's on Game Pass on the Xbox, but not on PC, and
I see.
I'm devastated by that because I really want to play it. I want to go back and revisit a load of those games, but I can't because I don't have an Xbox. But yeah, I'm glad that. I mean, it seems that Xbox are having a very mature relationship with Nintendo, and I'd say PlayStation as well. It definitely seems different to what it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about Nintendo, right, they're a company who pride themselves on their first-party exclusives and having a one place where you come, all your Nintendo stuff. I mean, yes, recently they have delved into the mobile market, but by and large, it's come here for your Nintendo goods. Like, you're never going to see a Mario game on PC. You're never going to see a Mario game on Switch. Come here for all your Nintendo stuff. Don't come here and then spend your entire time inside an Xbox ecosystem where, like, nothing Nintendo can, like, penetrate that. Like, you'll have to open a Game Pass app, and then you'll have this whole Game Pass section of your Nintendo. And it's like, how am I supposed to sell you Super Mario Odyssey when you're playing through Halo Infinite?
Yeah, exactly. And isn't so? What's the? I can't remember what it's called. I mean, there'll be some games on Game Pass which are, I'm not saying free, but that are on Game Pass. Then you'd have to buy on the Switch, and then the Switch would be losing money
you wouldn't
because
get
of that.
a discount.
You'd be losing money. So, like I said, I am very tempted to get like just one of the digital, the one you've got, the Xbox you've got, the digital version. Just when it comes down in price.
Don't know if this is in the news run up, but they're discontinuing them.
They are discontinuing. That was
they're discontinuing the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S all digital, but they're going to keep running the Xbox One S normal.
Right. How much is that one? Do you know? It's like 200 quid now.
200.
Yeah, 200. Okay.
250.
Yeah. The thing is, I would just be getting it for that. And in all fairness, the only thing I don't have from that on Game Pass is the Rare Replay collection, and that's all I really want. That's really all I want.
Well, Game Pass and xCloud. Have you got that in your news?
Yes. Well, xCloud. I mean, Dad, if you want to jump on the xCloud.
So basically, xCloud, which is their version of cloud gaming. So you can go on xCloud on your phone or tablet, and through that you stream games, right? Well, they're combining that service with Game Pass later this year.
Yep.
So any game that you can play on Game Pass, you can then stream using xCloud. So that means you don't need to buy an Xbox. You don't need to have a good PC. You just have like a tablet. And Halo Infinite is there, and you can Bluetooth your controller to your iPad or your whatever Galaxy Tab, and that's it. So like,
it kind of
they don't need to build it on Switch.
It makes
like there's more iPads in the world than there are Switches.
Exactly, and it pretty much makes Stadia redundant. There's no point in having Stadia once that comes out. It's like, I mean, it was kind of redundant anyway, but like, what's the point?
Well, even because like Stadia, you get a couple of free games a month, but you don't get access to over 100 games. No. Like, I sound like I'm an Xbox but I don't have an Xbox, and I'm saying the exact same things. You know, it's like Stadia is a storefront where you go to buy games. Now, obviously, with Game Pass, they'd love you to have Game Pass, go in there, go, oh, I like this game, and then buy it as well. Yeah. But you know, it's a service. It's games as a service. Mm-hmm. It's the Netflix of games that Stadia was trying to tell everyone it was.
Yeah. That pretty much covers it. I am excited to see what happens next generation with Xbox. I do think it's really exciting, and I just want more because as well I want to see what PlayStation does in response to what Xbox is doing.
Yeah, competition breeds excellence.
Let's keep moving on because we've got some. I'm gonna move into. We got 3 more topics. One of them is, I guess, it's only really going to be relevant to me and Daf Gape. But it's interesting. It will be interesting to talk about anyway because we've mentioned stuff like this before. So, Pro Evolution Soccer 2021. They're actively saying.
I'm with you. I'll come back later.
Daf Weeks, be back in 3 minutes. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys think of this. So basically, Pro Evolution Soccer has said that the next game they release is going to basically just be updated kits, updated squads, but nothing really dramatically changed other than a few things that can just be done with a patch. And what they're doing is they're charging £25. £25 and you get the update, you get the patch, and you get the new game. I don't know if that means that the next game is going to just be £25 and you've got to previously have 2020, or if you can just buy the 2021 and then you get that as well. But I think the more important thing is a lot of FIFA fans are very annoyed because FIFA and Pro Evo have been doing this for years anyway. They've pretty much just been up. They've not been when they get because it's not the Unreal Engine. What do they use for FIFA?
Frostbite.
There we are. So they use Frostbite, and they don't change for a while. Like it's a couple. They usually stay on the same system for a while. And Konami in particular are doing it because they're moving on to the Unreal Engine for the next gen console. So they basically said all our work is going to go on that. Let's just put out a smaller, condensed patch version of the game, and you can buy it for half the price. It is half price. Now, when you compare that to something like NBA 2K21, which is £65 for the next game, and it's basically doing the same thing, I don't know. There is a conversation to be had there about are these companies taking people for granted, especially when a lot of the money, like we've said before, 2K are making from these games isn't actually to do with the upfront costs, to do with how much people are paying for loot boxes and what have you.
Annual games should be gone.
I wanted to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do people buy a new Pro Evo or FIFA every year?
Every single year.
People just
people will do it every year, and it's like £55, 55 to £60.
Is there a reason for it? Like, is it because of the online element? Like, because you want to be playing have more players, or?
I mean,
literally just for the updated kits.
It will a lot of the time. It will just be updated. I mean, sometimes there will be a leap forward in like the way the gameplay is, but often it'll just be tiny tweaks between
Kits,
for
players.
like say like 3 years, the game will pretty much be the same with update like tweaks. Like maybe the passing will be a bit more smoother, or maybe it won't be smoother, and they'll just tweak the game, and then they'll change engine, or they'll something dramatically will change, and then those it's for a lot of like say every couple of years, it is essentially the same game with patches, and then charging £50.
We talk a lot about Assassin's Creed, and that's kind of why I stopped buying the Assassin's Creed games. Because I kind of felt by the time I got to 3, it was. I mean, 3 kind of obviously was a bit of a nail in the coffin, nail in the coffin type situation.
Fire.
But it did kind of feel like because the games were coming out every year, they were under too much pressure to try and update the game, and that wasn't the same as just reskinning the models. You know what I mean? That was there was a certain amount.
There was still work in there.
Even that to me was just not really enough for me to spend 40, 50, 60 quid every year on something that I'll just go play the last one. I don't know. That just seems weird to me.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of the money as well won't actually be the upfront cost. It will be, I don't know what it's called in FIFA. I think it's My Career in Pro Evo. I don't play it. I don't really care about playing online. Because I get way too competitive when I'm playing online. I don't need to be angry and competitive.
FIFA Ultimate Team is
Ultimate
the main
Team,
money getter.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of. I did see that when Pro Evo announced this, there were a lot of FIFA fans saying, "What is your response to this? Are you going to charge us 50 quid for basically the same thing?"
And the answer is yes.
Yes.
No,
100%.
60 quid.
Yeah. £65. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and it will be. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's going to go back up to what it was for the next gen consoles, and that's just for who knows. Who knows what it's going to be?
It's just a one-off.
I have no idea. All they said was for this one, it's going to be that.
I guess they see how successful it is, and then they make the call on whether it's like going to be like this the whole time.
And I imagine the next one will be a full price because it'll be the first one on the new console. But then it all depends, I guess, on whether they keep doing it. And one thing Zach actually mentioned when we talked about this before, I imagine a lot of it is to do with paying for the licenses and stuff. So who knows?
So Pro Evo are fine then.
Yeah, Pro Evo fine. I mean, the thing is with Pro Evo is as long as you can edit all of it yourself and you can download edited kits online, it takes like 20 minutes. So as soon as you do that, you've got all the kits that FIFA has got, and it's for me always a better game. Like
have you got the players and the names?
Yeah, all players, all the names, all the kits, all the badges, everything, because people edited them online. It's amazing what they do. But yeah, it's crazy. But so there's actually I'm gonna move on to the last 2 points. The next one is actually okay. I'll just read it out. So reported by The Guardian. Basically, they've been doing a study over the last 20 years with regards to violence and aggression in video games and whether that causes us to be, video gamers to be violent and aggressive. And they've pretty much conclusively said it does not. The research is led by Aaron Drummond from New Zealand's Massey University, re-examined 28 studies from previous years that looked at the link between aggressive behaviour and video gaming, a method known as meta-analysis. Current research is unable to support the hypothesis that violent video games have a meaningful long-term predictive impact on youth aggression, which is really interesting because especially in the 90s. And there are still people I talk to these days that think that video games are violent, they cause you to be violent. This is a study, an independent study with 20,000 young people, and it pretty much conclusively said it does not make you aggressive. I just thought it was really cool to talk about. I saw that this morning, I was like, you know what, that'd be a really cool thing to talk about. Have you guys ever felt... I mean, obviously it's proven now that you don't, but I've never actually... The only times I get aggressive and angry is when I get blue shelled. Let's be honest. We all feel aggressive and angry when we get blue shelled. I think that's fine.
Well, except for you don't, because you're always 2 laps ahead, so it doesn't matter anyway.
I still get blue shelled though. Yeah.
Infuriating.
But, I mean, it is an interesting theory because, like I said, in the 90s in particular, it was a big thing. Like Mortal Kombat. They were trying to ban Mortal Kombat because they thought it was aggressive. It was going to lead kids to be too aggressive or be violent.
And that game looks awful.
It does. Oh, man, it does.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I love the original Mortal Kombat.
No, I do as well, but my point
Dab's
is...
getting angry. Stop it.
But it's not like... You'd never play that original game and look at it and be like, oh, well, that looks like 2 people murdering each other. No, honestly, it looks like South Park.
It's a cartoon.
It's ridiculous. It's supposed to be over the top. It's
the fatalities are ridiculous.
And also, it was 18 as well, wasn't it? Or it was at least it was marketed for people who are. I mean, it became 18 because of the rating system came out because of that.
And there's the great one where Nintendo took out the blood for their one, so it was sweat instead of blood.
I love that. I love that. That's brilliant.
Green soul kind of
As well.
spray.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that became a whole thing.
So,
yeah, do you remember when they used to do that? They'd be like, "Oh, red blood's bad, but let's make green blood. That makes it okay." They did it with like House of the Dead and stuff, and just always
Carmageddon.
Carmageddon
Turned them
yeah.
into zombies, so
Yeah.
it's fine to run over a zombie.
Yeah.
That's
But,
fine. Yeah.
So yeah, video games, they don't make you angry, you fucking bastards. Right, let's move
They
on to the
make you
last one.
angry. They just don't make you violent.
Violent, yeah, that's true. They do make me very, very. Anyway, last point, and this is actually probably the most one of the most interesting points of the day. 20 years ago this week, Mario Tennis was released for the Nintendo 64 in Japan. Excluding 1995's similarly named Mario's Tennis for the Virtual Boy, Mario Tennis was the very first in the series we know and love today, but it also introduced something far, far more important. Does anyone know what that is?
Waluigi.
Waluigi! Waluigi!
I thought he was from Mario Party. I thought that was his first one.
He's from Mario
Mario
Tennis.
Tennis?
I did not. When I was
knew?
going, I didn't know.
Wario
Just
needed
play
a
doubles.
partner.
Yeah, he did need a partner. He
Yeah.
did.
Wario needed a partner to play doubles with.
Of course.
That's all it was.
That's all it was.
I find that so funny. It's just like, what should we call him? Waluigi. It's like, oh, brilliant.
Well, so but it
Brilliant.
comes from the word. Did you know about this? The Waluigi thing.
The what?
Is this real
Waluigi.
though?
This is real. I believe this is real. So what is it? Waluigi means like evil or something. I think so. That's how. Maybe this is nonsense. Maybe I've just seen too many.
Call
like,
Zach out on his nonsense.
Call me out. Someone's wrong. But so Waluigi, I think, means like evil or something. So then when they were like Mario, Wario, it sounds like Waluigi, and then so from there you get Luigi becomes Waluigi.
So-
When I was a kid, I just remember thinking it was the stupidest thing.
So then
apparently
Wario
it is, right?
is not just the M being replaced, it's maybe the MAR or the MA being
Exactly.
replaced. So it makes sense for the WA into Waluigi.
Did you know
so
as well?
it's actually less stupid than it sounds, if that's true. Which now I'm
it's
doubting
still-
myself.
Pretty stupid. That.
What I love about Waluigi more than anything is like, so Mario, you just flip the M
Yeah.
and it's the W.
Yeah.
And then for Luigi, well, we've got an L. Flip that to
Yeah,
Y.
right.
That's
Yeah,
all it
exactly.
is.
Yeah, that'll do.
Did you want to know another useless stat? So basically,
Absolutely.
Wario was supposed to be German originally. And if you, I was watching this video the other day. I think it was in one of the Mario Karts, one of the first ones he was in. They had Papa music playing alongside as he was like as for his celebratory music. He's supposed to be German. I think it's in the Mario Kart, which I just think is really funny because it just,
Wow.
I don't know, yeah.
Well, especially when he was only first came out in the early 90s. It's like you can't even make the World War II argument anywhere close.
Yeah.
That's just racist.
Just evil German. And then Charles Martinet came in and was just like, he didn't know he was supposed to be German, so he just did like Wario. It's like, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's probably for the
Have
best.
you seen that clip? Oh, I don't know what it's from. It's like an E3, but it's not E3. Where they've got these it's in Japan. They've got these talking Mario and Wario things, and it's like they didn't have a voice at the time. So the Wario is like this big mafia boss. He's like, "Yo, I'm Wario. What you doing?
That's
Get away
amazing.
from me, yo!"
Amazing. That's awesome.
I'll have to
It
find
was
the
a
clip.
choice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, I just looked it up. It is real. There it is for anyone.
Oh,
Waluigi.
there
Waluigi.
we go. Waluigi.
Luigi.
Yo, Waluigi.
Yeah. Nope. Every day.
Right. So yeah, that is the end of the news. Guys, what have you been playing? Anyone been playing anything good?
Can I go first?
Yeah, you go
Absolutely.
first. You go first.
Okay, so this might be a long conversation because
God.
we're finally going to talk about something that I said that I think I mentioned this in episode 1 that I wanted to talk about it, and this week I finally had the opportunity to go back and play Sonic 1.
Ah.
Sonic 1.
Nice.
Okay. How? Oh.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to be fair to it because I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to really... Because I played it as a kid and I think I sort of thought I liked it but didn't really. I think the thing I find frustrating about the Sonic games as a series, particularly the early ones, is that the idea, his catchphrase is gotta go fast.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was like, you should run really fast. But if you do that, two things happen. You die and you get the bad ending. You get the bad ending. Actually, what it is, because I decided this time I really wanted to try and get the 7 Chaos Emeralds, because I was like, never done that before. I stopped. It's too hard. I won't do it. I don't have the time. Don't have the energy. Because basically what it turns the game into, instead of getting from the beginning of the level to the end of the level as quickly as you can, it kind of turns into, like a Banjo-Kazooie style collectathon, where you have to explore the full level to get enough rings. And that's fine if that's your thing. I like Banjo-Kazooie and all that stuff. Yeah. But then you have to do the minigame to get the Chaos Emerald, and all of them from Sonic 1, 2, 3...
Don't you dare shit
Knuckles,
on the minigames.
They're so hard, dude. They're so hard.
But they're so good.
But they're so hard. Like, I'm never going to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds. I don't have the time. Even as a kid, I was going to be... The other thing is, like, on Banjo-Kazooie, it's like, all right, well, I can save, right? So I don't have to get all the rings right now. Sonic 1, you have to do it all in one day. I think it would take me, like... As someone who's not very good at Sonic games, probably like a few consecutive weekends of practicing and then like a full 2 days to actually do it. Like it's crazy. And the thing I don't that bothers me about it, I suppose, is that when you end up at the end of the game and you get like the quote unquote bad ending, I don't know about you guys, it's not really a bad ending, but it feels like a bad ending because I know there's a better ending.
You know there's another ending.
Yeah.
And that bothers me a little bit. So, but to be fair, the game, a lot of the good stuff, the music is still really good. The designs are really nice. Yeah. The sound effects are really fun. Like jumping on stuff feels really like springy. But I just don't really like Sonic 1 very much, and I it's frustrating to me because when people say 3D Sonics is so bad, I'm like, but were 2D Sonics that good? You know, like I feel like they were never these. I feel like you hold the 3D Sonics to these amazingly high standards. But I'm not really sure exactly why. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think about Sonic games? The old ones?
Sonic, I mean, it was a game made by committee men, wasn't it? Really, like, that was the thing. It was like people going, how do we combat Mario? What do we do that's different to Mario? I know, let's make him really... It's like loads of people, middle-aged people trying to create a cool character. Because we had this conversation last week about what do I prefer. Like, we were talking about Donkey Kong versus Mario, and I still... stand by my point, having played Donkey Kong a little bit more this week, that I love those games, like the games that I played anyway. But Sonic, you are right, Zach. There is a part of it. It's like the whole point is to go really really fast, but then you either skip half the level, like just by running as quickly as you can. It's like, okay, well, what am I doing? Well, so
the idea supposedly came from, I can't remember the name of the guy, but whoever it was that came up with the idea claimed that it came from trying to speedrun Mario.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but you don't just start playing Mario and speedrun it. You play Mario very carefully and cautiously and you learn the game, and if you really love it, then but you only get fast by being able to do it slowly.
You have to earn the right to go fast,
I told you I got into The Last of Us speedrunning. I would have never enjoyed that if I didn't already enjoy playing the game. It was just because I wanted to challenge myself in something that I was starting to get a bit better at.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pick up Sonic and it's like, right, speedrun it. It's like, I don't know where to go or what to do. And like, if I speedrun it, I run into spikes and this platform falls, but that platform doesn't. Like, it's not conducive to... You can't just say speedrun a game. That's not how it works.
Do you guys have a favourite Sonic game?
I've been playing
Sonic Mania this week. Literally this week. I've picked it up for the first time, and it's fun. Like, it's really nostalgic, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm always gonna put more time into a Mario game. Like, I enjoy the experience.
Gotta go slow.
It does go slow compared to Sonic. Like, I know it's just like a little dopamine kick, innit? When you play Sonic, it's just like, look at the fast, flashy colours.
Yeah, I get
it's
that.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Did any of you guys watch the film? The recent film that came out like last. Apparently, it was supposed to be a fun romp. Just that's what it was supposed to be. Is
that the quote on the poster?
That's just a picture of me going, a fun romp.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
Hey.
No, but it was apparently it was like I've seen a lot of people saying that it was just. I mean, you can't go in expecting genius, but Jim Carrey's in it, and he's always good for something, I guess. But
isn't it this generation Schindler's List?
I think that was the second tagline after Fun Romp.
Oh, that is a dark joke.
Yeah. Woo! But yeah.
Anyway, so that's my take on it. My favorite Sonic, actually, I think, very controversially, is Sonic Adventure. Not because it's good, but because it's one that I played a lot when I was about 7.
There you go.
And they had the Choo Choo Garden, right?
They had the Choo Choo Garden, which was cute, and I'm surprised they've never made a full game out of that. You know, with the popularity of like Animal Crossing and stuff, seems like definitely have a full game of Choo Choos. I was expecting more strong opinions on the Sonic front, because normally when I talk about Sonic, people get mad.
But I think
Sonic 2 is better than Sonic 1.
Sonic 2 is
it
better.
is better
Yeah.
than Sonic 1. Yeah,
And I think
Although
Sonic Mania is
the-
better than both of them.
The only thing about Sonic 2 is they introduced the spin dash thing, and I kind of feel like that's not. It makes it. You ever heard about this fan made game? I think it's called like Sonic something, I don't know. And their whole mantra for the game was that you had to earn the speed, so you don't get to like just like charge up and go. You have to like use physics and stuff to build up momentum in order to get around loops and all this stuff. Yeah, I'll send you guys the link. It's a very cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll send a link to you, Johnny, so you can put a description in the
cool. I'll do that.
YouTube. It's a very cool design, and I felt like that makes you feel like you're having to earn that. You know that.
The
best thing about Sonic is charging up and blasting through a wall, and then hitting a launch pad.
I guess.
And then hitting the spikes.
But you are right. At least then it does add some. It adds something to it. You've got to earn the right to go faster.
It's something about the kind of there's a bit more kind of challenge to it. But then it's not to say Sonic 2, 3, Mania, Sonic and Knuckles aren't hard. They're still hard games. So
I always loved Sonic and Knuckles as a kid. I can't remember if it's any good. I just remember as a kid really enjoying that because I really enjoyed playing as Knuckles just because he could fly through the air, and I thought that was
Knuckles the Echidna.
Yeah,
What a laugh!
so much cooler. I always thought that was so much cooler because
good, man.
Yeah, but yeah, Zach, any more to add about Sonic?
I don't think so.
I actually would like to see you.
I'm glad I went. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I'd love to see you actually go back and play Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, that would be fun actually. Maybe once I get my capture card, we'll do some Sonic Adventure streaming.
Sonic Adventure, that'd be really
on
cool.
my original Dreamcast.
Oh baby.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach. Should we go to Daf Weeks? Because I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. Hey.
No, true. Yeah. So game I've been playing, Luigi's Mansion 3.
How are you
Oh,
finding
cool.
it? How are you finding it? I said the other day, I said last week that it popped up on my Switch that you were playing that. And I was like, that seems new. I can't remember you playing that before. How are you finding it?
No. Yeah, like I've not played 1 or 2.
Yeah,
so
me neither,
this is a fresh introduction to Luigi's Mansion, and I was a little bit cold initially to it. I was like, oh, this feels a little bit kiddie. It feels a little bit lacking on the... You know what? And I ended up not caring because once I'd unlocked all the little gizmos and gadgets and it became like a puzzle game.
Yeah,
great.
it was fun.
Loved it. Really fun. I love puzzles, and like it was giving me like old LucasArts point and click vibes.
Yeah.
Which is basically one of my favorite genres of games is a point and click adventure.
So did you play Monkey Island as a kid?
Oh god, yeah.
They're all coming to the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
I saw
all of those.
It was announced a couple of weeks ago that I saw that, and
I will
they were
take
there.
all of those.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I could I'll make a documentary on the love and the evolution of LucasArts point and clicks. But back to Luigi's Mansion though.
Yeah.
We've got that thing, and like I don't know if I'm just getting a bit thicker as I get older, but like I've had to walk through a couple of these puzzles now, and then they look ridiculously obvious. It's very embarrassing for me. But yeah, it's also really charming. Like,
it is charming.
It's so charming and very funny. It's like the least scary thing out there.
Yeah.
It's like Luigi just like with his like knobbly knees,
and he's
kind
shaking,
of cacking himself around every corner, opening a cupboard and like a Jack in a Box going. Wah! It's so stupid. Like just laughing at Luigi being scared is quite funny. There's nothing in the game that's actually scary. You're just laughing at the fact that Luigi is scared of like a ghost that looks like Beethoven, and a ghost that looks like an old king, and a ghost that looks like a maitre d' in a restaurant.
Where
so
are you
stupid.
now? Which part are you at now?
Oh, I'm in the overgrown, flowery place,
okay.
and I have to find
Yeah.
a gardener, a ghost
Okay.
that looks like a gardener.
The one thing I would say about that game is that I said to Dav last year that I kind of felt the same as you. I felt slightly underwhelmed. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought it looked so great. It looks brilliant, and it plays really well. But I was kind of underwhelmed in it a little bit. There was a part where I was like, oh, that was good. I don't know when I'll play that next. Sort of vibe is what I had. The one thing I will say is that I do feel like it gives Luigi way more of a character than Mario. Because like Luigi is terrified all these times. He's going around and he's terrified, but he's still trying to find all of his friends, regardless of how terrified he is. And I feel like it gives him more of like, I don't know. It's just with Mario sometimes.
It's
just
a
like
challenge for him.
Yeah, it's like Mario's going around going, yeah, I'm gonna go and do this because I'm
gonna
Mario.
jump on the booze. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Whereas Luigi
Luigi
is genuinely shitting his pants and he's going around this little just freaking out every room he goes into. I just find I don't know. It just gives him more personality than Mario.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
that's controversial.
Also,
do you think you'll go back and play the?
love...
Sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
I was gonna say, do you think you'll go back and play the first and second one, having played the third?
I might if I'm. I mean, it's not going to be the highest priority.
Sure.
I just know that I'm really charmed by this for now, more than I expected to be.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I really like the Luigi element.
Yeah, I just love the name as well, Luigi.
Luigi. Let's make a gummy form of Luigi and call him Luigi, and let's have him rather weirdly kind of evacuate from his back end and then go back in, which really freaks me out every time you do
Evacuate from his back end.
Yeah. Basically, the animation looked like he's wearing like the vacuum cleaner on his back. It just looks like he's pooping out green poo.
It does.
And it turns into a life-size model of himself.
It's
weird.
That's the best of us.
I tell you what, the
That's the dream.
the two-player element that brings, though, like Rosie played a lot of Luigi's Mansion with me, and it does work. You think that it doesn't, because you can't both do the same things. You need the other person. Obviously, when you can still play the game by yourself, you can do all that. But when it's with two people, it's actually quite fun because you are relying on the other person to do all the things that you can't do if you're Luigi or if you are Luigi. It's really good. I was saying to Dav as well, because I think Dav's actually played, or has been playing, or will be playing, I can't remember what you said last week, Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2. And then if or when he gets 3, we should definitely play online.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of multiplayer. There's loads
Definitely
of
gonna
multiplayer
stream
games
that.
on that. There's loads of multiplayer games. Dav, anything else you want to add to Luigi's Mansion 3?
I'm good.
Good. Professor Egad is also one of my favourite characters. I just think he's really funny.
Oh, him running. The animation of him running with his neck kind of like his head pointing up to the ceiling was hilarious.
Yeah. It's I don't know why I find him so funny, but I do. I also really enjoyed the...
He's got a great voice, I think.
Yeah, and what's the thing as well, because if you pause... It's the Nintendo. What's it called? The
Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. Yeah, it is, and I just find that really. I just like
lovely bit of nostalgic business for Nintendo.
Yeah,
fans.
and probably the best use of the Virtual Boy in Nintendo's history. Like it's
better than the actual
the actual physical Virtual Boy. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Dav. We'll move on to Daf Gape. Dav, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a plethora of games, or should I say demos.
Oh.
The Xbox Summer of Games demo showcase started yesterday. Today is Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday. Peeking behind the curtain, and
That's how days work.
Yeah, and I streamed 4 of them last night, and the first one I streamed was Skatebird.
Skatebird.
Oh.
I can already tell you're completely enamored with this game.
Which one is Avril Lavigne?
On the right.
On the
and on the left appears to be John Cena.
Okay.
Who I didn't know was a skateboarder. But you play as a tiny bird on a tiny skateboard, like a fingerboard, on a table.
That looks adorable.
And like you grind on like straws and like
That's
little foil benches and stuff like that. And like you're doing like tricks and combos like Tony Hawk's game.
That's
and you
amazing.
go around, you've got to like collect the letters from like birdie instead of skate. It was just a really cool little game. Not much going for it at the moment. It's just the alpha, so it was just sort of mess around in this little room for a bit. But I had some fun with that. So that was the first one. Really enjoyed that. Second one was called Raji, an Ancient Epic. And you can see there it's sort of pseudo top-down 2.5 D, and it's a really cool game. It's inspired by Hindu gods and a lot of ethos and mythology around that, and the combat like felt meaningful. Like you hit and you're playing against these creatures that are like 2.5 times your size, and the combat felt really like meaningful and like solid. Didn't feel wishy-washy, and they had some cute little puzzles in there, and all the cutscenes were told through shadow puppets, which was just gorgeous.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, that was really
That's
cool.
Everybody like puppet.
Yeah, the third game was Welcome to Elk. So this is the game.
Oh.
You play as this woman here with the pink hair. Now you turn up, and basically anything that's color is something you can interact with. And you turn it's kind of a point and click adventure, Daf, and you basically you go around this island and you go to the pub, and they're celebrating this guy who died, but no one actually likes him because he put the brewery out of business, like intentionally. But they're celebrating him like ironically. And the first gaming thing you do is a dancing competition, whereas if you do the wrong dance move, you have to drink. And it's like these are like really cool, like odd, like Scandinavian jolly vibes. And then you're just like chatting away in the pub, and this guy walks in, and he's like, "Yeah, look at this bitch. Yeah, I bet I'll show you a good time." And the bartender's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And he's literally like, "Shut the fuck up! I wasn't talking to you." It's like, oh my god, instant aggro, and it's like got messy, like fast, and like really, like I felt really uncomfortable. And then you end up like drunkenly stumbling home to like a random bed and having this really bizarre dream sequence. But yeah, there's a lot going on in that game. And the last game I played was Night Squad 2, which you can see here. They had 3 modes on offer. You play as like the little knights, and there were 3 modes. One of them was like capture the flag, and you have all these different weapons and stuff you can use. It's a really fun game. The first one was on Games with Gold, so it was kind of free on Xbox. Played a lot of that with my mates. Night Squad 2, you've got a battle royale mode as well, and you've got like a payload mode where there's a minecart you've got to stay within it to get it to the other side. But yeah, some really cool demos there. But the main game I've been playing, and I can't get enough of, and when we finish this podcast, I'm gonna play more of it. It's Paper Mario and the Origami King.
Yeah, how's that?
I forgot you were playing that.
How's that been going?
Good. So I'm about 8 or 9 hours in.
Yeah.
Had a busy weekend, but as soon as I was able to, I got straight back onto it. And it's a slow start. It took maybe 4 hours, maybe more, to get to the first boss. And every combat battle was learn this other mechanic, and it's like, oh god damn it. But eventually it gets interesting. So the combat, basically, you might have seen it, it's called turn-based strategy, because you're turning the battlefield, turning the enemies to line them
It's
up.
brilliant.
You basically,
mechanics, great
Oh,
combo.
you basically want to line up into a line or in a square, because your main weapons are boots and hammers. So when you use boots, you're bopping on their head as Paper Mario, or hammer, you hammer the square of 4 enemies. And you basically get given a certain amount of turns that you're allowed to turn, and then after that you get to use your actions based on how many groups of enemies there are. And it's cool. Like there are like times where I have to spend extra coins, which is like your XP, your economy, your everything. Spend extra coins to get more time, because I'm like, I don't know how to do this properly, and like I'm glad that it's challenging me in that way.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the combat, it's very simple, but I've got a feeling it will get more complicated. But the best thing about the combat is the boss battles.
Yeah.
So whereas you've been in the middle of the circle, turning these concentric rings or like shifting them back and forth to get the enemies in the right lineup, with the boss battles, the boss is in the middle and you're on the outside, and you've got these arrows and stuff on the floor. You've got to basically all line up, and you only get a certain amount of like spins, so that you end up at the right point of the boss, doing the right type of attack and stuff like that. So there's all this like strategy going on, and it's just really, really cool game. The comedy is very good. I'm very impressed with the comedy. Like several times I've actually laughed out loud, which for a miserable bastard like myself is very good. And there was one line in it. It was like a social commentary where Mario's like sidekick character was like, so this artist was a great artist, but he's done some pretty terrible things. Huh. Does that mean we can still appreciate the art or not? It's like,
Wow.
Wow.
like Picasso, Kevin Spacey,
man.
Louis C.K. kind of stuff going on. I'm like, oh,
Jeez.
okay. I don't know.
Do you know,
Can I watch House of Cards?
I've seen it. Do you know? I've seen a lot of people on Twitter recently posting pictures about comments like that. Like there was one the other day about I can't remember what it was. It was something about just people complaining about online. I'll go online and complain about it, something like that. I've seen. I've read a couple of them and thought, you know, from what I've heard, the writing is top notch. That's all I've heard is the writing is top notch.
I really enjoyed the writing.
Is it better than Color Splash?
Pardon?
Is it better than Color Splash?
Didn't play Color Splash, but I'm betting it was. I'm betting it is better than Color Splash. And I've just got my first party member. It's a Bob-omb, who we're calling Bobby.
Bobby Bob-omb.
And it's very funny. You meet him, and he's just starting an adventure because he's got amnesia, so he's forgotten what his purpose was and who he is. And it's like, oh, so he's like the main character of his own journey. Like every main character in any game ever.
Yeah.
It's like they wake up, don't know where they're going.
That's brilliant.
It's like taking the mick out of Breath of the Wild. But no, very, very, very enjoyable. I look forward to playing more of it. It's just gorgeous. Oh, so good to look at.
It does. Again, every clip I've seen, it does look really beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's Intelligent Systems, isn't it? They made.
I believe so. Yeah, Fire Emblem guys.
Fire Emblem guys. Yeah, I think it is one game that I'm like I said last week. I've been torn between that and Ghost of Tsushima for a while, and I'm not sure I can just afford any right now or justify either right now. But that one does. It just looks like so much fun you can dip in and out of.
Yeah. So I had the Nintendo game vouchers. Left over from something or other. So I had 2 going. So I was like, right, one's on Paper Mario and one on Pokemon Snap when that eventually gets a release date.
Nice.
I
think someone was saying the Pokemon Snap is going to be October.
Ooh, hello.
October.
That's a saucy time to come out.
I think someone was saying October. I mean, it's not. Was that 3 months away?
Less 3 months away. But that's just in time because November 19th is going to be Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So I'll put my Switch down for that.
Get your snaps in quick.
Yeah. But yeah, Dav, anything else to add to Paper Mario?
It's as good as I was It's as good as I was expecting it to be.
Okay.
And I was expecting it to be good.
That's good. What would you give it? Would you give it an 8 out of 10?
I'm only 9 hours in. I would say 8 out of 10 is probably bang on.
That seems to be what it's getting across the board. In that, it's really good.
The pacing is a slight issue, but because I'm just chilling, taking my time, I'm like going. There's a lot of collectibles and stuff, so I'm like going every nook and cranny. Like you have to find all these different toads that have been like scrumpled up or like folded into like butterflies and stuff. You got to hit them with a hammer to like free them. So like finding all the different toads and filling all the holes in the world. Yeah. But it's not just origami. There's like other things as well.
Don't do
like
this at home.
one is like stuck under a rock and you've got to like pull him out because they're all paper and stuff. And like I've just unlocked like a fax travel. So not fast travel, fax travel.
Fax
The
travel.
pun game is
That's
so
cute.
on point.
I love
The pun
that.
game is so strong. And the last boss I fought was a box of colouring pencils.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was epic. Yeah.
Was it the box or was it the pencils that were trying to kill you?
It was the box using his pencils. And he had several ways of doing that. One of them was like a Gatling gun of pencils.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of you don't. I mean, how many other games do that? Where the boss is a collection of flipping pencils.
And I know 2 of the other bosses. I don't know any others, but spoiler alert if you don't know the bosses. But one of them is a hole punch and one of them is a pair of scissors.
There's a part of me that feels like that
like
is
that.
amazing, but also kind of like they've thought about it, but then gone, oh, that's brilliant, and then just left it. It's equally amazing, but also like, really?
No, but like the colouring pencils like had a voice and had like a personality and stuff. It was like really like militaristic.
Oh my God, get Paper Chase on the phone. I feel like a collaboration coming on.
Oh. Well, it won't be that far off with like all the Mario stuff they're doing at the moment. Like Mario Jenga, I saw the other day. Like Mario Monopoly as well. To go with the Mario NES Lego, they were announced.
Mario Jenga is like the opposite of Mario Lego.
That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. Well, at least they're covering their bases. It's kind of like people don't want to
with
destroy
loads
things.
of Jenga blocks.
Yeah. Daf Weeks. Before we move on, I just got to ask you very quickly. Did you ever play Broken Sword?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I figured that one. I went.
Fair enough. I've been playing that this month, except I've just updated my Mac to the newest OS X, and I can no longer play any 32-bit games.
No way.
So I've lost most of my Steam collection.
I went.
Damn it.
I said I went home to back home to Wales to you guys earlier, and I found about 5 Game Boy Advance games, and I found Broken Sword on the Game Boy Advance. And that was one of my favourite games growing up. I just thought that if you said you liked all those types of game, point and click, that was one of my favourite games growing up. I just thought it was so
Broken
good.
Sword's cracking, yeah.
Such a great game. Gents, also thanks Daf Gape for that. I actually, the way you talk about Paper Mario does it. I know we said before about how long games are and how that influences. I was actually quite shocked to learn that game is longer than Ghost of Tsushima.
Not by much.
Not by much, but it's about 10 hours longer. So, but the way you talk about it is kind of the way that I don't know. It just seems like fun and
The thing with Paper Mario is that I can imagine it's going to take me even longer than it says on howlongtobeat.com because I'm just like, ooh, what's in this nook and cranny? Ooh, what's over here? Ooh, how do I get to that thing? Like,
Nook und Cranny. Awesome. We are going to move on to our final thing. That's our quiz.
quiz time, baby.
Quiz time, baby.
Quiz time.
So last week we did
Best part of the show.
best-selling games of the 90s. This week is the best-selling games of 2000 to 2009. There is. I apologize to Zach last week because there was one game that was released in the 80s that threw him off, and it ended up being the number one, which was Tetris. Same thing happens here. There's one game that is released in the 90s that crosses over. So let me explain in that it's the amount of games sold during that 10-year period. So from 2000 to 2009. So it could have been released in the 90s, but it's the amount of games that were sold in that period. So like it could have been released in 98, but then if it sold all its games in 98 and 99, it didn't sell that many. There's one. I'll tell you that now. So I've got 15, same as last week. I'll give you 3, so you're going to get 15 goes each, but what I'm going to try and do is if you can't think of anything within like 5-10 seconds, just pass them to the next person, okay? And we'll. I don't know what order you guys are in, but my order is Daf Weeks, Daf Gape, and then Zach, and then back to Daf Weeks, okay? So we'll start with Daf Weeks. We can go in any order, any game from the 2000 to 2009. We want to see what are the best-selling games. Okay.
Tetris.
Well, not. Well. So is that your guess?
That is my guess.
Okay.
Tetris.
No Tetris.
Legit. No Tetris.
No Tetris. Okay, Daf Gape?
So there's only one game that's not from the 2000s that's in this list.
Yes, only one game.
Okay, I'm not going to go for that yet. I'm going to go for... I just had it, lost it. Modern Warfare 2.
Yes, that's number 14. So I had 2 lists originally, and I realised that they were slightly different. The reason why is because one of the lists was platform specific, so and this is multi-platform. So I thought I'd do multi-platform because that's fairer, because like the games come out on that was that's 15 million anyway. Zach?
Super Mario Sunshine.
I will 1 second.
Oh, I should have said. Oh, yeah.
Super Mario Sunshine. No. 9.
Super Mario Galaxy. Meanwhile, surely.
Oh, I know. That's what I should have said. Yeah, surely.
Super Mario Galaxy. No.
Oh.
What?
No Super Mario Galaxy.
It's not as good as Sunshine, but it should be on the list.
Dav,
Wii Sports.
Dav, you learned, didn't you? You learned. It's number 1. 58 million copies. It shouldn't count, but it does.
Shouldn't count. Number 2 then is We Play.
It is. Well done, Zach.
Yeah, of course it is.
I'm glad you
I
guys
hate this
suck
game.
those ones.
There's one missed. Dav, there's probably one you can probably get. Thinking along those lines.
We
I
Fit.
hate this.
We Fit number 4. 22
I
million.
hate this. We Fit counts because it's an actual game.
Yeah, We Fit, to be
whatever.
fair, yeah. And you have to buy the Wii Balance Board as well, but yeah. Dav, Gape?
Let's go with Super Mario Galaxy 2.
9.
There
Not
it
number
was.
9.
9. No,
9.
9!
Wario is in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, Wario. No, sorry. Zach?
We might have lost him.
Oh, no, we lost him.
Oh,
We'll go back to Dav. We'll go back to Dav Weeks and then come back to him. Is it Dav Weeks?
okay, GTA 4.
GTA 4 is not on the list.
Oh,
Not on the list.
I might
Gape?
have the wrong year. It might be newer than I think.
Dav Gape?
GTA 4 might have been 2010. If I was to guess. GTA San Andreas.
San Andreas is on the list, number 7.
There it is.
Zach, you got 2 goes, if you can hear me.
Halo 2 and 3.
Halo 2 and 3. No and no.
What?
What?
No and no. Sorry. Back to
shocked.
Dav Weeks.
Oh, Gears of War.
Nope. No Gears of War.
Gears of War 2.
Nope. Zach?
Pokemon Emerald or something.
Nope.
Damn it.
Final Fantasy X.
No, which is a shock to me, but it's not on the list. Dav, Gabe?
Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Pokemon Gold and Silver, yes, number 9. That is 18 million units sold. That was the one from the 90s, by the way. It came out November 1999.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have known that. How about Spider-Man 2? People like that game.
Sadly, not. Although it was a good game.
It was
Very
a
good game.
I
Dav
never
Weeks
played it. I just know everyone seems to like it.
is really good.
I am so out of the obvious now. No, not a clue. Pass.
Pass. You should.
Tetrasphere.
No Tetris. Dav Gabe.
There is no Tetris this time.
Dav Gabe.
Nintendogs.
Nintendogs is number 3.
Oh, good one.
Zach.
You're on a good line of thought. I think maybe Mario 64 DS.
No Mario 64 DS.
Dang.
Dav Gape. Dav Week. Sorry.
One of the Sims games. What would be in the noise? Sims 2.
Nope. No Sims 2.
Oh.
Dav Gape.
Brain Training.
Brain Age is on there. Yes, Brain Age.
Brain Age.
It's a different game, to be fair.
I'll let you have it. It's Brain Age. Zach.
I feel like this is cheating because Dav definitely did a little gesture, but Mario Kart Wii.
Mario Kart Wii is number 6. 20 million units sold.
Nice.
Dav
If we're doing
Weeks.
points, that's definitely a Dav game.
Oh, I have no idea what the points. I'm just trying to keep track of how many times you guys have guessed.
Well, how about a Mario Kart Double Dash?
Yeah, come on.
No
There's
Mario.
enough GameCubes.
No Mario. Yeah, there weren't enough GameCubes. No Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh, that's right.
Ignore GameCubes. Okay.
Dav Gape.
Let's go Mario Kart DS.
Mario Kart DS number 11. Zach.
Nice. Resident Evil 4.
No, because I don't think Resident Evil 4 came out on the other consoles until a while after, but sadly it's not on there.
What?
Dav Weeks.
Crazy Frog Racer.
I can say categorically.
That's a
no.
lovely shout.
No, it's not. Daf Gape.
Let's go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ratchet and Clank 2.
No Ratchet and Clank. Zach.
Smash Brothers Brawl.
Nope. Dav Weeks.
I'm really struggling. I'm just going to give rubbish games from the time. The Little Britain game.
No, sadly. Dav Gape.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
It's a thing.
Oh,
Look it
yeah.
up. It's terrible.
It's a thing.
Let's go Cooking Mama.
No Cooking Mama.
Ah,
Zach?
Shout, love that.
Wind Waker, maybe?
No Wind Waker. Daf Weeks?
Ugh.
Gran Turismo 5.
Nope.
It's not 5.
Daf
I
Gape?
don't know where we are with Gran Turismos.
Daf Gape?
Is it Gran Turismo 3?
Gran Turismo 3 is on there, yeah.
Hey!
Well, you said you said Gran Turismo, and I was like, wow, that is a great shout. And then you said 5. I was like, ah.
Hey, look, you gave Daf Gape like brain training when
To
he
be
was
fa-
age training.
To be fair, I
Give
didn't.
me Gran Turismo 3 when I said 5.
I didn't know if they were different games at first. That's what I was like, is that what you mean? And then he was like, the different games. Like, oh shit. Okay, not different games. Whose go is it? Is it Zach's? Yeah, Zach.
It's me. How about Uncharted 2?
Nope.
You said that was such distinct.
Daf Weeks.
Good.
The Jackass game. No, I need to stop. I can't think of anything.
I reckon there's. I reckon if you give it. Yeah, how many's left? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 games left. There's 4 games left. Yeah. Should we? I'll go to Daf Gape and then because there's only 2 turns left for you then. Daf Gape.
Is it just UK?
No, this is worldwide.
Okay. Okay, how about something like New Super Mario Bros.
New Super Mario Bros. DS. Yes, is number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5. Zach.
Like Red Dead Redemption. I'm sure that's not on there.
Sadly not. Daf Weeks. We've got 2 more goes now, Dav.
No. Call
Pass.
of Juarez.
Call of Juarez. That's a good shout.
Good shout.
Not on there.
I'm going to just check anything I can think of from the era.
Daf Gape.
Guitar Hero 2.
Nope. No Guitar Hero 2. Zach.
Is a really good film.
I'm trying to think of like all the big IPs at the time. I don't know, like Twilight Princess or something.
Sadly
I
not.
can't think of any games that sold really well at the time.
Yeah, the thing is all about sales, isn't it? And there wasn't that a GameCube didn't sell very well. I know it came out on the Wii, but yeah,
Came out on the Wii, Johnny.
I thought it came out on the GameCube as well.
Both, yeah, simultaneously.
It did, but it was on the Wii more importantly.
Daf Week's last go.
The serious shout this time. Tony Hawk 3.
It's a good shout. It's not on
Oh,
the
that's a
list.
good shout,
Is
actually.
Vice City there?
Nope, no Vice City. Zach, last one. Last guess.
I have no idea.
I reckon
don't
you
know.
of
I think
all.
I'm gonna have to-
I reckon you of all people should know at least one of these answers. That's a hint.
Me of all people?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me feel really stupid because it's going to be something I've played a load. Was The Last of Us 1 somehow out in 2009?
So
I just didn't know about
I'll
it.
go from 15. I'll go from 15 to 1, and I'll tell you how many units it sold. So in 15th place is Gran Turismo 3, 14 million units. In 14th place, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 15 million units. In 13th place, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, 15 million. In 12th place, and the one you didn't get, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, 15.3.
That's what I said! I said Pokemon Emerald!
Is that not the
That's
same
fair.
thing? Is that not, it's not the same thing,
That's
is
the
it?
same game!
I'm sorry,
It's the
man.
same game.
In 11th
Age
place is
training.
Mario Kart DS, 17 million. In 10th place was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, with 17.35 million. That's the other one you didn't get. In 9th place was Pokemon Gold, at 18 million. 8th place is Brain Age at 18 million. 7th place is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with 20 million. Mario Kart Wii in 6th with 20 million. 5th place was a new Super Mario Bros. DS, 20 million still. Wii Fit, 22. Nintendogs, 23. Wii Play, 26. And Wii Sports coming out with a mighty fine 58 million, but they probably shouldn't be counted.
Nintendo annihilated that decade.
Well, it's the Wii, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
wow.
Wii.
Pokemon
the Wii.
and the Wii.
Yeah. Well, the Wii
Like,
and the DS, really.
only-
It's all Wii and DS.
The only games we didn't get were other Pokemon games.
We're Pokemon games,
and we
yeah.
got the wrong Guitar Hero.
Yeah, the wrong
Is it?
Guitar Hero and Pokemon. Everything else is Pokemon. That's it. Gents, thanks very much.
I didn't think Diamond and Pearl did so well, actually.
Say it again?
I didn't realise Diamond and Pearl had done so well.
Yeah.
It was the first DS one.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, so Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire on Game Boy Advance November 2002, and then Diamond and Pearl DS 2006. So yeah, that's some good stuff. Thanks, gents. That is the end of podcast number 14. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then follow us on Twitter, FaceCB, YouTube's, Patreon. Tell your friends, give us a review or a comment. It really would mean the world to us. Dav streaming this Sunday? Maybe?
Well, before this weekend, we'll have watched the Xbox showcase.
We will have watched it.
Which
Yes.
IGN have said is the most important Xbox event ever. So you'll be able to find the archive of that on our twitch.tv/VideoGamesAhoy and possibly a recording of it on our YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm doing that, but that will already have happened. And then next week I'm going to carry on streaming some Link's Awakening, and we've got Multiplayer Monday starting next week.
Yes.
I think we're going to start off with a bit of Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Our official Multiplayer Mondays. Mario Kart 8 next week. Also, I've got a bone to pick with you, Johnny Radford.
Why?
Overcooked doesn't have online play, and I bought the game before
Does
I
it
knew
not?
it.
It does. Me and Daf Weeks
No.
have played it.
Well, not on Switch, apparently.
We have played it online on Twitch.
Could have sworn we did.
Yeah, we
I have to
did.
double check this.
We've
Maybe
not
I'm wrong.
Mandela effect this.
No, because I remember specifically me, you, and Hoy played it online, and it was a big deal because
Okay.
I only have it on the Switch. I don't have it on the I don't have it on the PlayStation. So it's definitely
Okay,
online play.
I didn't see an option for it.
I promise you, because we definitely played it, didn't we, Dav?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember we were terrible, and I was just like,
it went terribly.
This is
Absolutely
chaos.
horrendously.
Because we were playing on one of the levels where you were on one side of a boat and I was on another boat, and we had to throw things across the river to each other, and we just kept missing. We just kept throwing things into the water. I thought that was hilarious.
Okay.
I promise
play
you,
Overcooked on
we'll
Monday.
definitely play Overcooked.
We're playing Overcooked to start off Multiplayer Mondays.
If we get it to work. If me and Dav,
If it works.
yeah,
if it exists.
If me and Dav just didn't imagine it and just that would be quite funny. Thank you very much for listening. This is Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.